There it is.
Oh, who's Tyson Fury? Oh! Gotta click into character like that, dude. Well, look at you way off screen, dude. What are you doing, man?
Oh, we gotta slide over?
Slide over, baby. That's my jam, dude. Ready for the world slide over. Rockin' them Ducos.
Rockin' the John Pauls.
What's up, Weller?
What's up, homeboy?
Sunday.
Oh,
Why can't I
man.
hear you?
We get to catch up today, huh?
Fuck, we already did an hour show, dude.
I know it.
Dude, either I'm way too far over or you're not far enough, dude.
Oh, we're good, dude.
Touch you, dude.
It's our voice that matters. That's all that matters.
Getting deep in the fucking bitch.
You gotta get close, dude. When you get close,
oh, shit.
I know. When you get close, like, yeah.
You gotta get up in there, huh?
Yeah.
I can feel it. What's up, Patty? You know what we're talking about, Patty?
Patty. Who's Patty?
DG and Irma's.
Oh, yeah.
Patty.
Oh, yeah.
She says you get hella dirty on the mic, dude.
Frasier does. Frasier gets dirty on the mic.
I said, why you keep watching, Patty?
Because she likes Frasier dirty on the mic.
What's up, Patty? We'll do our what's ups, man.
Do your what's ups. Your famous Kevin Frazier. Your famous Kevin Frazier. What's ups?
Dude, so we got like our three major mainstays, dude. They're just keeping up on the comments, dude. And that's Brandon X, Floodlit 1. And this week was your man, your brother, Joshua, dude.
Oh, my gosh.
What's up, Josh?
Whatever.
And then we got a special guest shout out. Or what's up to the Kyoto University girls, 23 Japanese students that watch us every week. We say what's up to you. And they're also known as the Mafakas Mafia.
Hi.
Oh, hustle. What's up, Mafakas Mafia? And then our special guest shout out this week goes out to a Galt girl, Valley Okie, Galt Middle School Mustang, and Galt Warrior. She was in the U.S. Navy and the Seabees from 1999 to 2004. Military vet, and also the mother of the prodigy. What's up to Julie Cates Pruitt? so what do we got going, man? I can only see part of the board well.
I don't even know why I started laughing. It was did you push me? I feel like we're fucking 12 years old sometimes, dude.
The thing is,
hey, what are you doing, Fraser?
Weller showed up fucking early today, so I bet you we've already done. Yeah, we've done 2 hours of fucking shit already, man.
It's good to catch up every week, dude. It's good to fucking love each other. Fucking like little kids.
Dude, why don't we start with something soft then, dude? We'll go racist versus socialist.
You gonna come at me soft?
Yeah.
Come at me soft.
Limp.
I'll work at it. What'd you say?
Racist and socialist. These are 2 words we consistently
trigger
hear.
words that I think are no longer trigger words.
Yeah, they've overused them.
So, yeah, we were talking about fucking the racist shit. Like, everybody was saying, everybody's racist. They're racist. The Republicans are racist. Trump's racist. They're racist. They're racist. Racist. You say it so much, you devalue the word, right?
Yeah.
You say it for everything. Everything is racist. Everything. So then when something is racist, it's kind of fucking like, yeah, whatever. Whatever. It's just the same old shit. And it's the same with socialism. I noticed that when everybody comments or anything, they don't like Trump or whatever, they say, oh, you're socialist. You're a socialist, Democrat, commie. And what happens is they're saying socialist so much that they're devaluing the word socialist. Now, people don't even acknowledge the word socialist anymore.
You don't get any more reaction from it.
No, because everything's socialist. Oh, you're a socialist. Oh, you're a socialist. Oh, you want fucking free lunches for kids? You're a socialist. You want Social Security? You're a socialist. You want free Medicare? You're everything's socialist. You know what? It become numb. And that's why, and I was looking at the numbers for like Bernie Sanders. It was like a lot of young people are voting for him. And I think sometimes the young kids are idealists. Yeah. And they haven't gone through where we're to the point where you're paying taxes and everything. You're like, fuck this. I don't want nobody taking my shit.
They've been living off the tip most of their life.
True. And I believe that's why you get a lot of idealists, a lot of young people. But I don't think they believe that socialist bullshit they're trying to sell now. They're like, no. Because, and especially, and then I'll talk to my daughter too, but these kids are more educated. Like, there's information out there. So you have to be careful what you say to some people, because once you start becoming a liar or you try to, push an
agenda,
a narrative, whatever, they'll look into it and say, you know what, they're full of bullshit, and that's scary too.
Well, like I was showing you, man, you go online for anything you want. I don't care if it's Trump, Bernie Sanders, Buttigieg, anything you want. You can pull up a chart, right? Mm-hmm. Like that chart I showed you earlier. Mm-hmm. It shows Obama and Trump's performance, and on the chart, it's fucking like this, right? Mm-hmm. But if you look closely, it's only gauging 6%. Mm-hmm. It's not very much. 6% is not very much of anything, dude. Right?
No, that's when the polls and shit are all bullshit, dude.
Well, you can't believe the fucking polls. Look what they say. Because the polls are right. Hillary Clinton will be president.
Right, and they say, and they take polls of people in that vicinity, like 6,000 people in that vicinity, but that doesn't give a wide spectrum of people's opinions.
No.
They're not talking. It's bullshit.
You ever get them? I get them because I signed up for it. Where you get the fucking they send you these political polls and you got to answer like 5 questions. Mm-mm. Okay, so I do that shit and they send it to me at least once a week and they change the questions and shit. But so I know that somebody's actually out there taking polls. You know what I mean? They really are taking polls, but
yeah, but you can poll people that are basically congregated with that same ideal.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So like it's going to be...
If you go to fucking San Francisco University and take a poll there, right? Mm-hmm. And then you go take a poll at BYU University, you're going to get 2 different fucking spectrums right there.
Yeah, and then when I see some of these polls, they're like, well, 75% of people don't agree with this. And I'm like, I agree with it. What? Fucking nobody asked me. Yeah. And everybody I know don't agree with it. Like, it's like, who are you polling? I don't get it.
But racist is a big one for me because to me, if you were racist when we were a kid, that was something serious. Like, you know, you're a fucking racist, man.
I think most people, and I was listening to somebody talk, or most people are, almost everybody's racist. Everybody has some racist idea in them. They have a preconceived idea, but it's how you act upon it. And then people will also say you can't be racist unless you have power, which I don't think is true either.
Oh, hell no.
Because there's a lot of, they say, well, you're not racist. You can only be racist if you have power. So black people can't be racist. Only white people with power. That's all bullshit because there's white people in trailer parks that are racist as fuck, and there's poor black people in those same areas that are racist as fuck.
There are rich black people that are racist.
Yes, everybody has this
Did you see the fight last night?
No, I didn't. I seen highlights of it.
Okay, so when
Deontay Wilder and Fury.
When Wilder came out, though, the guy that was rapping, like his hype man that came out first, his whole song, I don't even know if it's a song, it may be a song, I don't know, but he was like, black people, black mafia, black entertainment, black pride, black heritage. Everything he said, black. And he kept it going for like 3 or 4 minutes.
And you know what? What that does is create more divide.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, that's cool to be proud of your heritage, to be proud of your race, your color, that kind of stuff. It is cool, man. But to keep putting it down there, it's like you're preaching it rather than trying to praise it.
Right. You're trying to create a fucking anger or an angst towards somebody else. I think that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create hate towards somebody else. And I don't know, at this point in time, if you're really about bringing people together, you shouldn't be like you said, there's nothing wrong with being prideful and Irish, prideful and Italian, prideful to be black, prideful to be whatever, Mexican, Puerto Rican, whatever. But there is where it becomes a divide when you start using, like, the language will change to create a divide. I don't like that.
What it is, it's like I got it and you don't. Like, I'm rich, you're not. You know, I'm pretty, you're not. You know, I'm funny, you're not. But you're using it with a race. So inherently you're cutting all kinds of people out that aren't a part of your race.
Yeah, there's a fine line between, champion who you are and fucking hating who you're not or who you don't like.
Yeah.
There's a thin line between that. But so, yeah, spouting the racist statement all the time just devalues the word. It just changes, like, because there is racism that has to be fought in everyday life. You have to, and all races, like white, black, Mexicans, everybody's got to come together to fight, like, out overt racism. I think you have to come together. But it devalues when people are really being racist. It devalues that by saying everything is racist.
It's just like the Me Too movement, man. Like, we've gone over it, right? Like the dental assistant Susan that complained about her dentist touching her and giving her comments and stuff, right? She's getting overshowered now by Alyssa Milano, who's saying that this happened to her.
Yeah.
And it did happen to her too, but now you've taken the narrative away from the regular
because they're looking at today's times with yesterday's eye, like today's eyes with yesterday's times. Like, okay, well, somebody whistled at you, whatever. Like, oh, well, this politician whistled at me and said, oh, I like you, you look pretty, or you like have a nice ass. Like, sure, that's not correct, but that was a different time. I don't think we should keep going. How far are we going to go back? Yeah. How far are we going to continue? I mean, if you go back 20 years, why don't you go back 50 years? Why don't you go back 70 years?
Well, this is what I'm thinking about Trump, and this is what, because I do like Trump, but if he was a big time racist and all that shit, how was he in the Home Alone movie? How was he doing shit back in the day?
I don't think he's racist, and he's racist in the term that I say. He's racist in the term that a lot of people are racist. We have preconceived ideas, especially maybe with wealthy people that don't interact with regular people. Like, I don't think he's like running down the street trying to fucking hang people. I think he's racist like ignorance is racism. When he says the stuff about okay, like I wouldn't say the shit about the Mexicans, like, because I know them, because I'm involved with them, right? Like they're drug dealers, they're rapists and whatever, and I think that it's just not knowing. Like, if you're not around people, all you have to go, like, say you're not around black people, all you do is watch MTV or fucking, rap videos or gang movies. That's your perception of who they are if you're not around them. Yeah. And I think it's ignorance is what most of it is. I don't think it's hatred. I think it's ignorance is most of what racism is just ignorance.
No, they sell a profile of race or heritage, whatever it is, on television, and that's what I would say 80% of people believe.
White people are the devils, and they try to fucking take everything from everybody. And not all white people are like that. There might be an elite group of people that are like that. There might be the fucking Ku Klux Klan. Not everybody that's white belongs to the Ku Klux Klan or the fucking skinheads.
I'm gonna say something that I don't think people would like or whatever, but I think there is some varying degrees of racism that are okay, man.
Like what?
Like comedy. Like, right?
Oh, comedy has to be off limits. I think the comedians have to have carte blanche. They can say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, but in doing that, you are touching those.
But it has to be funny. It has to be funny, and it has to be coming from, like, I listen to Schultz all the time. He talks about it, and because like one of the comics said something about Kobe Bryant, but it wasn't a joke. It was like, yeah, he died. Yeah, and he was a rapist and whatever. And like, there was no funny in it. There was no joke. He was just making a statement. So that's not comedy. And the comedy part is when they said the joke of Kobe Bryant was like, Kobe Bryant passing? No way. Like, making a joke because Kobe Bryant never passed. Yeah. Like, that's a comedy joke. That's a like the intention wasn't to hurt anybody. So I think comedy should be off limits. Like, people, they should be able to say whatever the fuck they want because it's all in jest. And that's most of what they say is what we think. We just don't say it out loud.
Well, it used to be jokes like this. A preacher, a rabbi, and a pastor walked into a bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the jokes started changing. You got a Mexican, a black dude, and a white dude walk into a bar,
mm-hmm.
right? So there is some form of racism that's okay and socially acceptable, right?
Yes, I don't even call it racism. I call it coming from a genuine place where you just, like, we should be able to make fun of each other, like all the little tiny things that we do. I don't know whatever the word is. They say white people eat mayonnaise sandwiches.
They're
they
isms.
say
those are the isms.
Black people eat chicken. Chinese people eat noodles. Like, they make jokes about that. Like, this, it's in jest. It's not in hatred. It's not in a negative way. It's just a joke, Yeah. And I think that we have crossed the line to where now we're just too far. Where you can't even fucking say, this table's black, and then it's like, what do you mean black? Is that racist? Yeah, like,
it's mahogany
so
color.
Yeah, it's become. You're right. It's crossed the line.
Oh, you dropped the fucking deal. Okay, so same thing with socialists, man. Because when people talk about socialism, you think about Marx, you think about Russia, you think about fucking Fidel Castro, right? You think about all the negative forms of socialism, but then you go to like Denmark or Norway and shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is where the two intertwine, because in Denmark and Norway, basically what you have is like 98% white people. They don't have, it's not like America. It's
mm-hmm.
not fucking a teamwork type of deal,
mm-hmm.
Race or heritage-wise. And it's the same thing if you go to Cuba, it's all Cubans there. Or you go to Russia, it's all Russians
mm-hmm.
there.
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I've seen it. You've seen Black Russians, right?
Right.
I mean...
A Rocky movie.
No, I met a couple in Sacramento, Black Russians, dude. It tripped me out, man. It really did, because he started speaking Russian. I was like, what the fuck? And then when he spoke English, he was freaking broken English.
Well, socialism, whatever definition you want to take from it, is the same like as fucking capitalism. It's like, we say it all the time, it's balance. It's a balance of shit. Like, you know, you interpret socialism, I mean, some people interpret it as like free lunches for kids, Social Security, Medicare. But there's a balance. It's like capitalism. I think compassionate capitalism is good for all countries. I think that I don't like the dick out capitalists. Like, well, I'm gonna grab everything I can and fuck everybody. Like, the top 1% has 90% of the wealth. Like, I don't agree with that shit. But I do believe that you should be able to buy nice shit. You should be able to, if you have a drive
I'm like, dude, if you want to make $1 billion, that's fine. Why am I hating on you because you make $1 billion?
No. I'm not hating on them, but I think that what happens is, like, somebody said that online. I'm like, yeah, but the way this thing is structured, it's skewed. It's taxes and everything is skewed towards the rich, and I don't think that it should be that way. Everybody should pay 10%, whether you're fucking $10 billion or fucking $50,000. Like everybody should pay their share, because everybody uses the roads. Everybody, and this is the thing with socialism, is like, well, you want free shit, and that's what I tell my daughter is, I don't want free shit. I want everything to be affordable. I don't want free healthcare. I want it to be affordable healthcare. Yeah. We don't need free shit. And this is what I found too, is that, you know, and when they start offering, this is the problem with the free shit, or the when you're trying to help people, is that there's always people who take advantage of those things, those programs that don't need it. Right, and because I believe that there should be a program for a single mother of 3 that has some sort of subsidized for the daycare, so she could go work.
Well, I just heard this yesterday. I listened to this Nevada City, Amador County radio station. It's really local and shit. Mm-hmm. So they've come up with a thing where, like, to start playing baseball. Right, baseball season's coming up. Mm-hmm. The first kid in your family, $70, right? Then the second kid in your family is half off. It's $35. Mm-hmm.
Well, they do that in a lot of places.
The third kid in your family, right? Well, they had a max of $120. So, like, if you have 5 kids in your family that want to play baseball, it's only going to cost you $120. Mm-hmm. To me, that's a form of socialism that's acceptable to me.
Right. That's what I said. A balance of socialism, a balance of capitalism, a balance of everything. A balance of everything is good. You don't want to have all of one thing. You don't want to have the country all Republican or all Democrat. You want to have a balance of independent, a balance of, you want to have all those different trains of thoughts, because not everybody's fucking has the same point of view. Everybody has a different lifestyle, different. In America, you come here with different values, different traditions.
You have tons of people that don't have family. You have tons of people out there that don't have kids, right? Mm-hmm. These are just single individuals going as sheep through, herding through America, working their daily jobs, all that kind of shit, right? Mm-hmm. But they're paying the same. They're actually paying more freight on it than the fucking family.
As far as what?
Tax-wise, wait till if you go single. You've been single.
No, you pay way more taxes out of your check. You're single,
yeah, man. And it's like you're being held more burdensome because you're single. Mm-hmm.
Are you complaining now because you're going to be single and now you want to try to change the laws because it doesn't benefit you no more?
I'm cool. Cool with it.
I'll say so yelling out racism on everything is going to devalue the word. Yelling out socialism on everything is going to devalue. You can't call everybody a fucking commie because they don't like Donald Trump.
No, and that's what Bernie's done, man. Is he's said it, like, he's owned it, like, yeah, I'm a socialist. He called himself Democrat socialist.
And this is where in a lot of his plans I don't agree with. Like, I don't think that we should have one government healthcare plan. I don't think that's going to be good for America. I think there should be an affordable healthcare for everybody, and I think there should be some healthcare out there that people can get that need it.
Look at the Medicare system. It's fucked up. They have all kinds of
different
parts. It's so
fucked up, dude.
It's really fucked up.
The pharmaceutical companies involved.
But you look at the military, right? Regardless of what branch you're in, Army, Navy, Air Force, they have the VA, right? That they go to. Now, I've heard almost every story I've heard about the VA is horror stories.
Yeah.
I have heard a couple, but very rarely where, oh yeah, the VA took care of me, man. Fucking, I went in this, that, yada, yada, boom, boom. But that's a rare story.
Right, because the government can't run shit.
That's what I'm saying. So if you take a look at what we do have that he wants to bring everybody to have, what we do have already isn't working.
Okay, and I don't. That's why the extremism is what I don't understand. I'm like, okay, I understand what he wants to do to Wall Street. Like, I understand that. Like, we bailed out Wall Street. Like, we should get a bailout too. But why don't you use some of that money you're going to tax on Wall Street to subsidize some healthcare to make it just affordable for everybody, not free? And let if you want to keep your company health plan, you should be able to keep your company health plan. Yeah. The reason why I think the Democrats are really fighting Bernie is because of the healthcare thing. They're like, it's not going to work. You can't pay for everybody for free. Like, it's going to be fucked up. Like, you can't say you can't keep. That's why the unions are not completely supporting Bernie, because the unions are supplying their healthcare.
You remember it was like, because I've watched all the debates too, the Democratic debates. But it was like 2 or 3 debates ago where they were talking about healthcare cost, right? And Bernie's like, I got $1 trillion plan, and then Elizabeth Warren was like, I got a $4 trillion plan, and then Klobuchar was like, I got a $12 trillion plan.
Right.
Like they're just throwing numbers out there to try to stick on the wall or to make fucking shit.
And this is what I believe. I believe that there's money in there to fucking create affordable healthcare for everybody. There's plenty of money in there. When Trump wants to build the wall, he takes $100 billion or whatever out of the military fund. There's money everywhere you can take. That money's there. I just think that there's too many hands that control power behind the pharmaceutical companies, the medical companies, that they're not going to change. It's like immigration. Like, we're spending a bunch of money on the wall and stuff, whatever. But why doesn't anybody change the immigration laws? Like, why don't they modernize it? Why don't they change it? Like,
they're changing the narrative, because look, it's been a couple months since you heard about anybody trying to rush the border, or there's a group of 2,000 coming to the border. You haven't heard that shit in a couple months now, right? So now what we got going on is the fear-mongering with the coronavirus, right?
Right.
That's what they're doing now, and the narrative changes to fit the fucking what they want to fit.
Right, because honestly, a lot of this shit can be fixed. I'm like, fucking, I could fix the shit. So if I can fix it, I know you could fix it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I don't got no fucking degree, but you take it to the next level where you're like, fucking, this is what I do and it works for me.
We put our minds together, dude. We could probably save America right now.
If they could just vote us both in as president.
What would I have to be vice president?
No, but just both president.
Okay, a double-headed sword?
Yeah, like a two-headed sword, dude. One hard and one soft. I can't see anything above SAMADHI, dude. So.
Okay, so what do we got? Vacations?
Oh, I'm down with vacations, man. So
life is going by so fast. We're getting so fucking old so fast. Let me ask
you this though: did your family, did your mom and dad ever, every year you planned you're gonna do this vacation? Right?
Well, what we did was we went camping in Alpine.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what we did, right? And that was fucking, there was no cost in it, really. You buy some food, you go pitch some tents. There was really no cost in it. We would go camping every year.
Yeah, camping was a big deal. Man.
And as kids, that was some of the best times me and Fraser had because I was telling Sarah this too. I was like, now I would not, I'd be freaked out. And I'm one of those fucking parents be like, oh, fuck, I can't have DJ go down to the lake. He'll fucking drown. and me and Fraser were kids. We would go down to the lake, fish. I almost drowned a few times. Yeah. He saved my life.
I remember.
And you know what's weird is I could have easily been dead, and my parents would have never known until you came back and said, "Hey, David died."
We woke up before anybody else.
Before everybody.
We woke up when it was dark, got our fish and shit, fucking walked through the fucking woods, right?
Same path.
Without a flashlight.
Yeah.
Just fucking by the sun that lights it's coming up. Yeah.
And go fishing.
And then we would come back at fucking 5 or 6 at night.
Nobody ever checked on us.
No, all day long.
All day long, dude. But yeah, vacation.
Yeah, remember we met those chicks in the boat, dude? And they fucking showed us her tits and stuff?
That's when we found out Liebig was gay.
Yeah, that's when it came
out. Yeah, I think life's going by so fucking fast that we just don't enjoy it. And it doesn't have to be a vacation to fucking spend 10 grand. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I was telling Sarah the other day, I'm like, we need to get out and do more shit instead of being robots, sheep, going fucking to work, coming home, going to work, coming home.
And that's what I wanted to get on vacations is I think because if you're in a family, especially, you block out this week. Every year, this 1 week, our family's going to fucking do this, right? Mm-hmm. That's a good start. Just like we're going to take this week and we're going to do something, just the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then, like you said, yeah, you can go blow 10 grand on a vacation, or you can spend fucking $300 and go camping.
Yeah, you got to do shit because I mean, especially if you have kids, they're gonna remember that shit when they get older. And I'm fucking guilty of it. I'm like, I get into that that routine of going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, and then Saturday I'm just so tired of fucking driving, I'm just fucking doing nothing, and then Sunday I do this. And I'm telling Sarah, we gotta plan something. We gotta start doing more shit, even if you can't afford it. I mean, life's too short to just be fucking. You're gonna look back and you think, "Fuck, I should have did more shit." Well, I could, because, like, I notice a lot of the older guys, they can barely move around when they get older. They can't go too far away from the hospitals and shit.
Well, that's my thing now. Is like fucking. I'm feeling older. You know, I feel older. I do.
You don't look older.
My body's changing. And shit.
You look younger.
No, I got secondary aging going on, man. But I think to myself when I talk to my dad, my older uncles and stuff like that. I'm like, these guys are fucking 20, 25 years older than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're living the dream because they're retired and shit, but they're not doing nothing.
No, it's almost too late to do shit.
So I think it's probably better to go in debt and do shit now while you can.
I think so, dude. I mean, my grandfather, for years, they saved every single dime. They didn't go out to dinner. They didn't do shit. And when they retired, they were able to retire comfortably. But then they couldn't do nothing because my grandpa had to go to the doctor 2 days a week. My grandma had to go to the doctor a couple days a week. And then that's all they did until my grandpa passed away, and now my grandma's getting old. But it's like you never really enjoyed life because all you did was save every fucking dollar you made.
Well, I'll tell you something that happened by accident, man, because I'm still trying to lose weight since the New Year's and shit.
You look good.
But I would spend, let's say, an average of like $8 to $12 on breakfast every day.
Okay.
And then at lunch, I would spend sometimes $15 or $20 on a lunch every day, dude.
Okay.
Monday through Friday, I did this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since I started doing the diet shit, I buy these salads that are $3, and I buy a protein bowl, both at Walmart for $3. So now, my cost of lunch and breakfast is $6. Where I was spending like $35 a day before. So this last 2 weeks after budgeting, dude, I had like an extra $700, and I was like, "Where the fuck?"
What?
Is this?
You got $700 more from not eating during the week?
Dude,
what?
Dude.
She said, "What?"
But think about it.
Fucking Fraser's math is out of control.
Yeah, it happened by accident.
Fraser's saving $700 a week by eating salads.
No, it was over 2 weeks.
7, 14, 20, almost $3,000 a month. You got extra from not eating fucking
$2,800.
Woo!
By trying to lose weight.
That's Fraser's math.
Yeah. But sincerely, when I was doing my bills and shit, I was like, fuck, I didn't pay a bill, or I messed something up. You know what I mean? I'm doing the math and shit. I'm like, I fucking messed something up. But that's what it is, man. I'm fucking. How much does it cost you to go out and eat dinner?
$100.
$100, dude.
Yeah, almost every time.
And you do that like
twice a week at least.
So you're talking $800 a month.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a cost right there if you just change that little fucking thing.
Sure, but you know what?
You got the money for a vacation. Though.
Sure, but for us, going out to dinner is like nice. It's like time we get to sit there and bullshit at the, going out to eat or whatever we go. And I don't know, I enjoy it. Like I tell myself, we shouldn't be doing this. We should be saving the money. But why? Like, my kids enjoy it. Like, we like going out. Like if that's what makes you happy, I say that's what makes you happy. Because we've been to Great America with people where they're like, well, we're gonna go out to the car because we made sandwiches and shit. I'm like, dude, I'll be broke. but I'm gonna buy a pizza here. We're gonna enjoy food here. Like
funnel cake, dude.
Funnel cakes. Like, yeah. I'm like, well, dude, that was like fucking $9. Like, I don't fucking care. We're gonna enjoy life. Fucking like, dude. You could be dead tomorrow, or you could be dead when you're fucking 80 years old. We don't fucking know. Yeah. And at least look back and think about it like, fuck, I enjoyed myself. And that's what I told Sarah we need to do more of. You need to enjoy yourself. This is what we're getting involved in too. And like you said before, we're getting involved in politics and religion and all this stuff, and it's like we shouldn't be even getting that deep involved in it where we're wasting energy, negative energy. It's like a guy at work I was telling you about. He comes to work every day yelling and screaming and mad. I'm like, hey, slow down. Like, it's not that fucking serious.
I think a vacation though is like if you do it once a year, right? That's like every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So every 6 months you have a break, or you're fucking changing your life for at least a week, man.
See, what we do a lot of is we go to Santa Cruz on a Saturday, or we'll go to Monterey for a Saturday. We'll go to Tahoe for a Saturday. We'll go to Reno for a Saturday. We do a lot of those little trips, which is good because it breaks up the monotony of fucking going to work every day. But life's too short. You got to enjoy yourself. Go on vacation.
That's what I'm saying. I think the best for me vacations are like I take Friday off. We travel that day.
Mm-hmm.
Then you spend the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, doing whatever the fuck you want. And then Monday, you travel back home. So it's costing you 2 days, but you get 4
We did
days.
a few of those. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Those were going to be my Raider trips now, man, for fucking Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be live, dude. Especially if I'm able to do drugs. But I think fucking, not it for yourself, do it for your family. You know, if not for your family, fucking do it for your sanity. We clocked out What else do we got down there, man?
Oh, we got a ton of shit, dude. A ton of shit.
Vices?
Vices? What are your vices?
Dude, so I had this conversation with a co-worker and an ex-wife of mine. I had lunch with Amy like Tuesday or something.
Oh, okay. That was nice.
Seen her at the office, yeah, but we were talking about... And,
she works for PG&E too?
Yeah, she's like supervisor and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And so we're sitting there talking and stuff, and she was asking me about vices, and that's why I was like, oh, fuck, we could bring this up as a topic. But I don't drink coffee, right?
You don't? I thought you drink coffee.
Dude, I don't. But Sundays, if we're going to do a show, I usually get coffee.
Okay, yeah, I drink coffee every day.
Yeah, see, I don't, but I will when I get older. I've been waiting for some stuff for my 50s, you know, like anal butt play, stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Saving it for my 50s.
You've been stretching it out for 5 years?
No, it's tight, dude. It's tight.
No, you got loose booty.
That's tight.
But go ahead.
Dude. I got tight butt. That's for you, Patty. And then I do have a vice because I chew. I chew every day. Right?
Okay, there you go. You got a vice.
I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. I don't come home and like, oh, I'm going to have a couple beers. Because I got a lot of buddies that come home and have a couple beers every night. Or smoke weed. I used to smoke weed all the time. I think that's probably my favorite vice is weed. But I think my vice
is food. We eat fucking too much. We go out to eat. We fucking eat. I'm always eating. Like, I'll have dinner. We'll get home, and then I'll go in the fridge and see what's in the fridge. Yeah. That's my routine.
Is you?
Mexico. Look at Mexico.
Oh, shit, dude. Oaxaca.
That's my routine. I'll literally go out to eat. We'll get home from going out to dinner, and then I'll open the fridge and see what's in there for fucking dinner. Or what can I snack on? I mean, I'm eating all the fucking time. Good thing I'm getting fatter, but a good thing I had like a high metabolism, because otherwise I'd be fucking huge, dude. I'd be like a roly-poly.
Dude, so do you think vices are just restricted to stuff that your body wants, or could a vice be like fucking taking the dogs for a walk, or woodworking, or whatever?
I don't know if that's a vice, because a vice would be considered something more negative, right? That's more harmful to you.
Is it got to be harmful to be a vice?
I don't think if it's positive, why would it be a vice?
Is masturbation a vice?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Because you could go blind.
Yeah, is masturbation a vice? Are you hurting anybody?
I don't know.
Are you hurting your dick?
I don't know.
Have you ever hurt your dick?
Dude, I remember...
Remember you used to punch your dick. I remember you used to do that all the time. You're like, oh, fuck you fucker. Yeah. Grow up.
Yeah.
And
I'd put it in a vice.
Put it in a vice. Yeah, you always had an ugly cock.
Let me see. Yeah, we had porns on there. Well, drugs is obviously a vice, dude.
Yes, drugs is a vice because I guess anything in abuse is a vice. But I mean, is drugs a vice? Is it because you do it a lot, or if you can control it, is it a vice?
I think maybe like if you can't handle, like without chew, like I'd be an asshole because I quit chewing for 6 months, right? Mm-hmm. And what I found out those 6 months was like I was really abrupt with people.
What? Why?
I didn't have time for any bullshit. Like,
what does it give you, a high or something, a buzz?
It like calms me down.
Really? It's like people who smoke cigarettes or something. Yeah. It's like the habit of well, you like to put stuff in your mouth. I mean, everybody has their own vice.
Yeah. That's what I like about it. I like having something between my cheeks.
Oh, yes.
Or you don't have a beard, but when you go down on a lady and then you have that after effect, you can just smell your mustache.
You're disgusting. You're disgusting. Who's that?
I don't know.
Patty.
I just read.
I say Patty.
I read stuff.
That was for Patty.
We gave her a few shout outs today. So.
But
I'm thinking soda. Soda's probably my vice because even though I'm trying to lose weight, I still drink soda every day.
I would say I have one soda every day.
Yeah.
How many sodas do you think you have?
Well, I went to the little sodas.
Yeah.
So I usually drink probably 3 of those.
Okay, yeah, I'll have one soda a day. But sometimes now, even when I get home from dinner, I like to drink tea, iced tea. I try to do something different because soda will, I don't know, keep me up. I don't feel good when I drink soda. I start feeling shitty when I drink soda.
I gotta have it. And candy's my other one, man. I love candy.
Is sex a vice?
I don't know, man. Like,
because you're really good at it. So is it?
I know. It's a fucking...
He said, I know.
I know.
I've watched you before, and I was like, what the fuck is that? It's like a magician.
I like making movies. That's what I call it, the magic show, dude.
Have you ever made a movie?
A couple.
Have you?
Yeah.
Can you show me one?
Dude.
Let me see it.
Go on Pornhub, bro. You like the amateur stuff? Go on Pornhub.
Are you on there?
Yeah.
Have you downloaded something from Pornhub?
Yeah.
Seriously?
On amateurs, dude.
What is it? What is it called?
Dr. Hook.
Dr. Hook. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I don't know, dude. Vices, that's another one though, dude. 'Cause I know
Frazier's
dudes that, and I don't understand this, but I've been to people's house where they got a fucking stack of fucking pornos, dude.
People still have videos?
Yes, man.
Shut up.
Dude, so part of my job is...
Who has that shit?
That's what I'm saying. I go into different people's houses. They need their water heater lit. They got their shit shut off.
Magazines or videos?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I was right here in Galt, and this guy had his fucking garage door open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and my boy Dan were doing a PG&E project, so we had to test all the appliances in his house. This guy's sitting there, and he's watching this porn. It's a really heavy-set lady, and she's got sexual warts, like herpes or whatever it is, but they're flooded all over her belly, around her.
This is a movie?
Yeah, inside of her legs.
And this is what turns people on?
Dude, this guy's watching this shit, and he's all fucking... He's not jacking off, but he's sitting there fucking like...
You're watching this guy watch this?
We're in there. I'm checking out his dryer. Dan's doing the fucking water heater, and this guy's sitting there fucking watching this porn.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, in the middle of the day.
Shut up.
I swear to God, Willer.
And he just doing it in front of you guys?
He wasn't jacking off, dude.
But he was watching in front of you?
You know what he had? He had like in the front of it, he had a garage door up, but then he had like one of those mesh things that keeps insects out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's sitting behind that fucking in his garage.
And he knew you guys were right there?
Yeah, he let us in the house because we had to check out his stove, his furnace, all that shit.
There's a lot of weirdos out there, dude. So he was turned on by genital warts?
I guess so, dude. I don't know. Maybe it's a fetish, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of fetishes out there, dude.
So is a fetish a vice then?
A fetish of vice. I guess if it's I don't know if it hurts people, but I don't know.
I think a vice is something you can't live without.
I think you can live without that shit. I think you can live without it. I think we think we can't live without it. I think the dude watching the porno with fucking genital warts, he can live without watching those fucking... He could do without, dude. I mean, you could do without chewing. I could do without fucking eating all the fucking time. Like, we can do without, but we just choose not to.
And I think that's what makes it...
Because it makes us comfortable.
I think that's what makes it a vice, though, is it's like your go-to.
Yeah, but we can live without it.
Dude, because, you know... I've been looking forward to doing drugs and stuff, and I'm wondering if weed's gonna become a vice for me again.
Well, I mean, weed, whatever. I don't think it's gonna fucking really kill you, but I mean, I just hope that you don't get into the fucking heroin and stuff.
No, I don't want to slam or do nothing like that. Not until
please
my 50s.
Please don't.
I'm saving that for my 50s.
Please don't.
I don't like needles except when they got ink in them. That's another vice. Maybe tattooing.
I think tattoo is a vice when people get a bunch of tattoos. What is the attraction to it? Like having a lot of tattoos. What is the what is it?
I just like being colored. I like it. I like looking at people like when they're tatted.
Mm-hmm.
And I
it's like tells a story.
Yeah, it breaks it up. But for me, the pain is actually part of it. Like I kind of feel like I deserve that pain.
Why?
Because I'm fucking evil. And I need to be fucking yin and yang.
Okay.
Where else you gonna get that evil laugh, dude? Yeah, we're running out of topics, man. What else
No. We got the big one. We got your fucking story, your elephant story.
Oh, that is a good. You want to do that one?
Yeah,
because
that's gonna last us a 30. That's a good 30 right there, dude.
Think so?
Yeah.
It rolls into that other bubble too.
Oh yeah, brother.
So if you have a Prime, I don't know if it's on Netflix or not, but there's a video called SAMADHI.
SAMADHI.
Yeah, it's SAMADHI. And basically what it talks about is like the Matrix, this third dimensional body that we live in, you know, because like I believe, and that's why it hits with me, dude, is that I believe I have a soul, and my soul is eternal. My soul's just not locked to this life or this body. My soul will continue to live on.
What do you think your soul's gonna do when your fucking flesh dies?
I think it will either
carry or your shell dies.
So let's call it heaven or whatever, an astral. It will become enlightened. It will go to another level, and I'll have choices where I'll say, "Hey, I want to come back and live on Earth again, or I want to go live on this other planet, or you know, another dimension, whatever." I don't know the choices because I can't remember being there before.
Do you think people's soul is based on how they live here?
No, I think.
You think people can be as evil as they want here, and when the next life they have, they're just gonna have the same choices you have, even though you lived this good life?
I think that when you're up there, you have an ability to say, "I want to be a victim," or "I want to be the person that's going to be causing victims." You know, like you have an evil role to play. You know what I mean? I think it's a choice, dude.
It's a choice to be who you are.
I think, like I said, I don't have the answers, but you watch that kind of thing.
I don't have the answers.
I don't, man, because what I would be telling you is just what I feel, or what.
No, whatever you feel is what you feel.
Like I was telling you, my brother had said something to me a while ago. Like he wished everybody, like when you were going to meet people, or let's say you had a dating site, right?
Okay.
But you go into this dating room, and what it is, it's just black. It's a black room. All you can do is hear people's voices.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't touch them, you can't feel them, you just hear their voices. And then you have contact, and you make friendships, and you do stuff like that in the dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, inevitably, what happens is when you go to the light and you actually see what somebody looks like, you're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Or she's hella fine, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is the one, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like that. We put that judgment and that stuff out on people as soon as we meet them, as soon as we read about
we
them.
prejudge everybody, dude.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do about it, especially growing up the way we grow. You know, in this world, we prejudge people.
It's and that's what they're talking about in there, is wearing a mask, dude. Like I wear a Dodger hat all the time. That's part of my mask. This beard I wear, that's part of my mask. You know, these tattoos. I mean,
yeah.
You just go all the way down to your shoes, your car you drive. Everything is like a mask of your soul.
Right.
But when you get to somebody's soul, and when you have those heart-to-heart talks with people, then you really find out who somebody is.
Yes, and that's what I was talking about before, is like when we're talking about conservative, Democrat, liberal, whatever, it's like people, we put a mask on as far as we voice who we think we want to be, who we are. But in real life, how we live, how we interact with people, that's who we really are. Like we get political, right? You say you're a Trump guy, whatever, and you know, fuck everybody, whatever. But I keep saying, and I tell people that don't like Trump, I was like, that's not really Frazier. Like he says that, whatever, but his life, like the Frazier will give you the shirt off his back. Like the guy will he's got a huge heart, whatever. Don't judge it by the things that you might disagree with them politically or something like that. It's like people will call me libtard and fucking, you know, whatever, Democrat, whatever. And it's like, okay, but really the guy lives a fucking pretty good, decent life. Like he pays taxes. He
Weller votes 87% Republican.
yeah, but I mean, you know, I don't cheat on my wife. I fucking take care of my kids. Like, okay, I'm libtard, whatever. But it's not what you say. It's like your mask. It's like what you say. It's not what you wear. It's not who. It's how you interact with people, who you are. Like you said, when you get to know somebody's soul, and that's why I always defend you all the time when people say, you know, oh, he's a fucking Trump guy. He must be. I said, but you don't know him. You don't know him. You hear what he says, but the guy got the heart of gold. I said, how could you have people say, how could you sit there and listen to that nonsense or whatever? And I'll say, dude, it's a mask. It's a mask that we all put on, that we think we have to portray to other people, but really who that person is who that. I mean, it wouldn't if all the stuff that we spew out is really who we are, we wouldn't get along really in real life. That's not who we are. We are who we are. That's why we get along.
Well, I've heard it said, like, and this goes into this part of it, like, you've seen the show Catfish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it myself, like, there's no way I could fucking have a relationship with somebody for 2 years on the computer and not ever see them.
Right.
You say that, but here's what's really happening here is these people's souls are talking. They don't have any ego. They don't have any judgment going because they don't see the person.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just getting to know somebody's soul, and that's what's happening is they're falling in love over what's being said rather than what's being seen.
Right, exactly, and that's the problem we are in today's world right now.
And that's what happens is on Catfish, when they see each other, it's all usually a bigger fat dude or a ugly chick or something that's put a fake picture up there.
Right.
Because they knew the other person just off the bat from seeing them would be like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be with you.
I mean, okay, and have a relationship as friends or women, men and women, whatever. Have a relationship with somebody that's always text. Like, people are really clever on the text line because you could go back, you could cover it up, you could, and like, oh, this motherfucker's funny.
How many times have you wrote something and then you go back and you erase
all
it?
All the time. Yeah. So you say, fuck, that fucker's funny, that's fucking hilarious, he's good to talk to, whatever, and you get him, and there's an awkwardness all the time with them. In real life, life because that's not who they are. And I'll give you a good example too. It's like our boy DG, right? There's probably a lot of people that don't care for him, like, because he seems like people will say he's a bully, right?
Yeah.
You don't know him like I know him. Like maybe we don't agree on shit or whatever, but like I know the guy. If I needed help, he'll be there no matter what, right? The guy's my brother. And some people will say, I don't know, I couldn't be friends with him. He's got a kind of an attitude or whatever. And it's like, you don't know him. Like, you might know of him, you might hear something, but you don't know him. Like, I know him. He's my brother. Like whatever. It's like that's not. Then people aren't going off real life. I go off real life. How people are really like, dude, that guy will fucking come out. When Sarah's dad passed away, he drove over there and gave her flowers. Like, he's like he has a huge heart. Like, you don't know him like I know him. And I think that's the problem with what we live in today is people don't know people like that. Like, when you're saying people put this mask on, and he might put that mask on, and I might put that mask on to push some people away. But when you get to really know somebody, you're like, oh, this is who they are.
Well, it's really hard to not judge people. That's the hardest part of it, because your ego is part of it. Your ego is part of your mask, right?
Yeah.
So if you could just look at somebody and look at their soul, the world would be a completely different place. Or if we were all blind, it would be completely different.
100%. And that's what. And as funny as you say the ego, because I've been working on that a lot lately. A lot. I've been trying to work on my egos, because when someone's trying to slide you, someone's trying to get over on you, so it happens at work all the time. I'm getting to the place where I just don't even acknowledge it. I'll be like,
the best thing to do.
Oh, okay, cool, and then go about my day. It's like, I notice people have to acknowledge it just to show, hey, I'm not stupid. I know what you're trying to do. But why even acknowledge it? Like people will try to do that to me. Let's say project managers, supervisors, whatever. They'll try to do that. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem, whatever. And then when they leave, you go back about your day. You don't necessarily have to do what they say or whatever. You just go back about your day. You don't have to have that confrontation. No, you got to let that ego go sometimes. And I'm working on that right now.
Here's what happens is people replay something you said. They replay it in their head. And it gets to them. So the next time they're confronted with something like that, they're taking out what was already in their head and putting it on you now. It's a completely different situation, completely different person, but they're taking it out on you.
Yes.
Because they got fucked earlier, and now they're not going to get fucked again.
Right. And you're right. This whole world has masks on. Like, we put these masks on. We put these fucking clothes to make somebody think that we're cool, or we'll fucking...
I got plenty of friends that fucking got $500 shoes. They got a fucking $8,000 watch.
Drive a nice car. Whatever it is.
In debt. They're 50 grand in debt. So they're not living that life.
Or it's not who they are. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't base my relationship with people because they have a nice house, or they're fucking tough guys, or they're cool, or they're whatever. Like, I'm friends with the old man Walters. He's 80 years old. I'm friends with him like I'm friends with Frage. Like, I don't have no barrier. Like, some people before were always like always clowning on me at work because I'm friends with them. Like, I have him over for Thanksgiving, comes over for Christmas, and eventually people will, I was like, just get to know him. It's funny, just get to know him. Eventually people will start befriending him because I did. Yeah. They'll be like, okay, the guy worked with Kelly for years. Everybody's like, oh, fuck Kelly. He was an ex-tweaker or whatever. And I'm like, no, Kelly's a good dude, man. And eventually people want to be around him. People want to work with him. Like, be that person that brings that other person into play. It's like, no, you don't know him. You think you know him because everybody has this perception, but just get to know him and you're like, oh, he's actually a fucking good dude. Yeah. I mean, just that's it. We got to take chances. We try to put on this facade like we're cool, and we hang around other cool dudes, and we got the goatee and the sticker on the back of the truck and the fucking this. I'm friends with all different variety of fucking people.
What all
dude.
Those things do, though, is they're signals. They're signal fires. Like, I'm a Laker fan, or I'm a Kings fan, or I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. Right. They're signifiers that kind of help bring the mask, narrow the mask down a little bit, right? But they're just signals. They're not fucking who your soul is. They're not who you are embodying.
And that's how you find out. Like, you will eventually, when you get older, you will weed out those people that you think you're friends with, or you think you have to be friends with, or you think you have to have relationships with. You'll weed them out, and you'll be like, these are the people I actually like being around. Like, they're positive. I want to be around these people.
No, I have a whole clique of friends I had, 10 years ago when I was smoking weed, growing weed, going to the co-op, doing that whole side of life. All them friends are not in my life anymore. because we were connected by weed, growing it, selling it, that kind of stuff.
Right.
We were connected by that. But now that I've removed myself from that, I don't even talk to these people anymore. Somebody that I would talk to every day, I don't even talk to anymore. And that's because that's not part of my mask anymore.
Right. Right.
You know? But I will tell the elephant story, and I might screw it up a little bit, but it's an old Chinese parable.
Preach.
So this king comes out, and he's got this huge elephant, like 15, 16 foot tall elephant. And he has his people bring in 5 blind men. And he wants the blind men to tell him what the elephant is. He just wants to get kicks, you know. He's the king. He can do shit like that. So the first guy goes up and he hugs on the foot of the elephant, and he's feeling it, and he goes, "Oh, this is obviously a tree. It feels like a tree to me. You know, I think this is what it is." And the next guy's feeling on the side of the elephant, and it's real hard, and he's like, it feels like a wall. This is probably a wall. And then the guy's over on the ear, and he's feeling the ear, and he's like, "Oh, this is obviously leather. It feels like leather to me." And then the guy's at the tail, and he's pulling on the tail and stuff, and he goes, "This is obviously rope. I can feel this is rope." And then the last guy's out at the front on the tusk of the elephant, and he's feeling it, and it's sharp and everything, and he goes, "This is a spear." And then instead of the king laughing and making fun of them, he told them, "The elephant is God, and you are all different religions." Because all of these blind men represent Jehovah's Witness, Catholic, Muslim, Jewish. They're all feeling God.
But they have a different interpretation of what they're feeling.
Yes.
Yes, and that's the world we live in.
That's it.
100%.
Because they're blind. They're just going by what they feel. They're all touching the same exact thing, but they all have a different fucking view of it.
I agree. Yeah. Because if you look at the major world religions, they all have the same basis.
Yeah.
Treat others the way you want to be treated, like the golden rules. And I was having that discussion with my brother before, and I think I said it before a couple times. Is, you know, he says, "Well, there's only one interpretation. There's only one. If you read the Bible," I'm like, "Okay, well, because you could read something, I could read something." And I was like, "So there's only one interpretation. Why do we have Lutheran? Why do we have Baptist? Why do we have Jehovah's Witness? Why do we have Mormon? Why do we have Catholic? Why do we have Christian?" There's more than one interpretation, but we get too bogged down in the doctrine of all this.
It's the mask of religion, bro.
When everybody's saying the same thing, just treat others correctly.
When you go back before the Bible was written, right? There was religion before the Bible was written.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? You go back before the Samaritans. Keep going on down the line. Before your religion, there was God. And that's what everybody's touching on, is the God, the source, energy, power, whatever you want to call it. It's the commonality that feeds all of our souls, right? But because of our masks, we choose to put on that Catholic cloak or the Muslim.
And then there becomes the extremists. Once you start getting into the doctrine, the extremist Muslims, the extremist Christians, the extremist Mormons, that, you know, and the Jehovah, all these people that go to the extreme because they start looking at the doctrine of it. They start studying the doctrine, and they start interpreting the doctrine as we excommunicate these people, and these people are evil, and this is not the true religion, and this is a cult. And like, stop. Like, when the basis of all this is just treat people correctly. Be a good person, treat people correctly, and you don't have to be bogged down in all the doctrine. We can't drink coffee on Thursday, and you can't, like, stop with all that. You're bogging all it down to what the basis is just be good to others.
In that show SAMADHI, it's a word that means union or gathering, or like when two become one, right? And that's what they kind of they're not preaching, but they're giving just different scenarios of shit in that movie. And basically everybody is connected. We are all connected to God, whether you like it or not. That's what's going on. We all came from one source, which is God, and we're going to return to that source.
I agree. And I think sometimes we get really like confused. When people get confused, and you don't have to think that deep into it. We were talking about the Matrix and it's cool to kind of think of, but then we're just kind of wasting our energy on it instead of just being us, just enjoying life, enjoying what God gave us, enjoying what, you know. I posted something the other day, and it was about like, it's and it was about the socialism thing too. It's like, being empathetic, being compassionate, helping the disenfranchised, the homeless, like all that stuff is not socialism. It's just believing in God.
But here's another take on it, man, is that we're sheep, we're herded. Like, we wake up Monday morning, we go to work till we're Friday, right? I would say 95% of people live their lives like that. Because we're sheep. We funnel. We all get on the same freeways, and I mean, it's just what we do.
It's the Matrix.
It is part of the Matrix shit. But when you do have those people that don't go along with the way, the ebb and flow of,
they're weirdos.
Yes,
they're crazy.
Weirdos. Or like, even when I'm watching the SAMADHI, I'm into sacred geometry and the astral plane and all that kind of stuff, right? But even some of that tantric shit they got going on there with colors and everything like that, you'll judge off the bat, like, oh, this is some hippie translucent shit or whatever, right? But I close my eyes, I lay on my bed, I listen to what's being said. You know what I mean? And there's so much truth in it. I don't care what religion you're in, you're gonna identify with God being the source.
See, this is where we get confused too, is that we get into the fucking debate about it. The debate where, well, Fraser said that God is a woman and there is no heaven and there's no hell. And okay, we're debating all kinds of stuff that doesn't matter. Like, to the base of it, to take the mask off. How does he treat his neighbor? How does he treat me? How does he interact with people? Does he have like compassion? Is he helping the poor? Is he doing all he is doing that? So what does it really matter if he says God's a woman or there is no heaven? Like, what are we debating other than the way he behaves and how he treats people? What is there to debate?
See, my whole thing with saying God is a woman is just to people put them in off balance right off the bat, right? Because everything is written by man and history is done by man, so of course God is going to be a man or a father figure, right? But on the other edge of it, when you tell somebody that God is a woman, they're thinking like, how the fuck, why does he think that? How come he's coming at me that way?
But it's a challenge. It's a mask. It's like, well, no, it's an ego. No, he's not, Fraser. You're not understanding what the word of the Bible says, and you start getting into the doctrine of, you're like, we're losing you.
Well, that's just it. My whole thing is to put the emphasis on God, and that's where I'm taking it to when I say God's a woman, because to me, in my own mind, God has no form. God has no sexuality. God isn't a man or a woman. You know, God is God, right?
And that's, you could get into that too, but really my whole point is, how does he treat other people? How does he interact with people? How does he behave? That's the most important thing out of all this. It's not, does he drink coffee on Sunday, or does he not? Does she not wear a dress, or does she wear pants when she's not supposed to? Like, all that is just,
like, for me,
convoluted human fucking bullshit, dude.
For me, it's easy to be negative. It's easy to be an asshole. It's easy to be confrontational or to fight, right? To take the other path and be passive, or to be forgiving, right? Or to be selfless rather than selfish.
Yes.
Those are the harder choices to make. But once you start doing that, you become a better person, and it's easier to be passive.
And it's easier to be happy.
Selfless, yes.
It's easier to be happy inside when you start doing that.
See, because for me now, just having to take care of myself and not anybody else, it's really hard transition in my life right now, because I'm so used to giving my time, my money, my effort to multiple people.
I can see that.
You see what I'm saying? And now I just got, like, I go out to eat dinner and it's $20 with a tip.
Sure.
With the tip in there, you know what I'm saying?
But what does it? How does you feel when you help somebody out with no expectation of anything in return? Don't you feel so good? Like, that, does that make you feel good? Like, that is the best feeling there is. Like, once you start getting that, it's almost like a high. It's almost like, I wish that was our vice. Like, everybody's vice was like trying to help out fucking the fellow man, like your neighbor or whatever. Like, that is God. That is God in us. That is, giving us desertion. That's what it's supposed to be. Not all this other stuff. Like, I this is what I always say, and I told my cousin Tony, I gave her so much credit. Like, she gets a little flack because they do DJing, right? And they might play, they call it, worldly music or whatever, and or she'll go to a movie, or she'll go to a concert, like a hip hop concert, whatever. It's like she'll get a little bit of flack for that, but it's like, wait a second. She goes to the street. She's helping the homeless. She's helping the needy. She does stuff a lot of the time. I'm like, no, you're my hero. Like, these other people who, like, my dad would live by this doctrine of, like, you don't swear, you don't do this, you know. Like, but what are you doing for other people? What are you doing to push God forward? You're not doing anything.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's easy to be a sheep. It's easy to follow. It's really hard to break off. And they show in that video, all these people are taking this path, but there's this one guy that kind of cuts off and goes the other path, right? Mm-hmm. When you go the other path, that's when you're going to get judgment. That's when you're going to take hits on your ego. When you're not going to be along with the pack or the rest of the sheep. And then that's where people start saying, oh, he's a weirdo, or, you know, fucking downplaying what you're doing. But regardless, if you're happy doing that shit, I don't give a fuck what anybody else says, man.
Well, and the people around you, if they can see it, and if they believe the same thing, they'll inspire you, or they'll, like, champion you on. They'll be like, yeah, Fraser doing his shit. Like, it's addictive. It's like, you know, you see somebody do something for somebody, and you're like, fuck, I need to do something for somebody. It's like paying it forward. It's like, I don't know. I say it all the time, and I told you, and I just said that. It's like, people will say, you know, fucking Fraser, what the fuck is he talking about? Aliens, or he's fucking. I said, don't go past all that shit. Go past the fucking Trump, the fucking aliens. Go past all that. How does he treat people? He's a good-hearted fucking good dude. Like, and that's how I always sell you. I'm like, no. All the other shit, the fucking Fraser facts, percentages, or all the bullshit. I said, see how he treats people? He's a good dude. Fuck all that shit. Yeah. That's what I see.
And that's what I'm trying to remove from my life now is ego and judgment. Like I told you, it's hard, you know, because basically when you look at somebody, by the way they're dressed or what they're driving or where they work or whatever it is, you have a judgment call on them already in your mind, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he drives a Corvette. He's wearing a suit. Fucking, you know, it's probably a banker or whatever.
Right.
This guy's wearing fucking flip-flops, shorts, and he's got dreadlocks. You know, you got a judgment call on that guy already. But you're not seeing that person's soul. You're not seeing their inner presence.
I love being surprised, and I was telling you a story before, and it won't get too long to take us right at the end. But the guy was, you know, to me, I thought he was a Trump guy. He had the goatee. He had the Blue Lives Matter stickers on the back of his truck. He, you know, just a white dude. Like, you could just tell. And then we brought something up. He's like, I don't like Trump. And it kind of shocked me. But I like being surprised by that. Like you say, a hippie wearing flip-flops, and you talk to him, all of a sudden you find out he is a Trump guy. Like, I love being shocked by that shit. I love being, like, surprised.
Yeah, or like my favorite one is you find some guy, like, I don't dress like the type of money I make. I've never been that kind of guy, you know? But I've been treated bad. Like, I remember I went to go buy a boat.
Buy a car, yeah. I hear you.
They're treating me a certain way. Like, I'm like, hey, I want to look at this boat over there.
They pawn
like,
you off to one of their lackeys.
Yeah, and they're like, that boat's about $600 a month. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the boat I want to look at. Well, I don't know. Maybe you want to get into one of these boats over here. And I'm like, dude, I'm here to buy a boat. And then I went through the paperwork, did all the shit with them, and then they're happy once they see your credit score.
I was going to say, and then you got denied, and then you couldn't buy it, and they're like, why did I waste my time with this fucking guy?
No. And then, because I have my son with me, and went through, got my credit score, they got how much I made. Oh, all right. And then they're fucking kind of excited and shit. And I said, you know what? I'm going to buy a boat, but I'm not going to buy a boat from you guys. You guys treated me like shit. And it's just because of the way I was dressed. They were judging me off the bat like that, man. And it really got in my car and pissed me off where I didn't even want to buy a boat.
But then don't let your ego get ahead of you.
It did. I wanted to stick it in their eye. Like, look, I make more fucking money than you do, dude. So get off my fucking nuts.
But don't let that ego get ahead of you.
I know, bro. And that's where I'm at. I mean, check it out. It's SAMADHI. That's what it's called. SAMADHI. SAMADHI. It fucking opens the windows.
MICKEYMOUSE.
Alright, brother. Well, we knocked it out again this week. We're going to have a midweek show next week because we got some activities next week.
Motherfucker, say what?
Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. Oh, my shirt was from Costa Rica. My girls got it for me. I forgot about that.